Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. It's Shannon from Makeup FOMO. Thanks for joining, glad you're here. Today we're going to do another, I always feel like I say a super fun video because all videos are super fun. But today we're going to be talking about two different products that I wanted to review. I was pretty excited about both of them. May or may not be quite as excited about one of them anymore, but I really want to tell you guys about both of them. We are going to, The items we are going to be talking about in this video are the Milk Makeup Blur Liquid Matte Foundation, which I recently tried out, and then I also have the Ulta and LoveMelisaMichelle collaboration palette, which I was also really looking forward to. And if you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to dive into it, give you quite a few details on both of these, share my thoughts, give you a little demo, and tell you all about them. So if you are interested in that, just stay tuned. Okay, so I wanted to start the video by talking about the Milk Blur Liquid Matte Foundation. I did receive this from Influencer. If you haven't heard of Influencer, anyone can go on there. It's not just for, YouTubers or anything like that. You can go on there, connect your social media, and based on your impact, which means kind of like how many people you reach with your posts and such, you can qualify for some free products to try out. So I did get this complimentary from them to try out. It came in this cool little PR type box. It's the Blur Liquid Matte Foundation Full Coverage Pore Blurring Matte Finish. When I heard of that, I was like, that sounds like a lot of things a lot of people would like. So I was pretty excited. It actually came like packaged up really nice. The tubes were like, anyway, it came packaged up really nicely. The tubes were like in this little protective little display thing. It was cute. So I got two different shades. I got light and golden light to try out. Obviously light is a little bit lighter, and this light shade doesn't match me at all right now, and even golden light is a little bit too light for me, but I was way too eager to try these out, so I went ahead. I've worn this actually quite a few times already, so I have some thoughts I wanted to tell you about. I'm also going to give you a little bit of information on their Dab and Blend. It's like a silicone applicator. It comes in this cute little case. It like zips shut. It's so adorable. It's kind of holographic too. I don't know if you can tell, but it's pretty neat. I don't know if you guys have tried the Silly Sponge. I jumped on the bandwagon. I'm trendy. I tried the silicone sponge, and I literally hated it. I used it like 2 times, never looked at it again. It was awful. So when they sent this, now it's way cuter than the Silly Sponge. You see all the sparkle in there? It's really cute, and I like the teardrop shape. I think that's adorable. I had super low hopes for this. I was pleasantly surprised. I will get to that. So this foundation does claim to be blurring, matte, full coverage. I'd say it lives up to most of those claims. It is definitely full coverage. I am wearing it today. I'm going to insert a demo, at some point here, but I am wearing it today. I would definitely say it's full coverage, absolutely for sure. And I would also say that it's pretty matte. I'm not oily by any means. I'm pretty normal, honestly. I don't even get that dry. I have a couple dry spots where I have some blemishes that are kind of going away, and I definitely would say it will cover pretty much anything. Even the blemishes, hopefully you can't tell, but even the blemishes are pretty much covered up. It didn't even sit too funny on top of the blemishes. It just kind of laid nicely over them. You know how blemishes can get when they're kind of drying out. They have like the little flaky areas around it. It didn't sit weird on top of them. It covered them right up, which is exactly what I needed it to do. And it applies very, very well. I've seen some people say this looks a little bit cakey, but I think it's just about how you apply it. Of course, if you put too much of anything, it's going to start looking cakey, but it didn't do that for me. It went on really, really nicely. I used it pretty much everywhere. I even put a little bit under my eyes, and it looked super, super nice. In terms of blurring, I'm guessing that they're referring to like your pores and things like that, which I wouldn't really say that it blurs your pores very much. I have a couple that are a little bit more predominant, and it doesn't do anything to like fill them or cover them up. So if you're looking for this to really like blur your pores, I wouldn't go into it with that thought. But if they're referring to, I guess, like blurring imperfections, any redness, any blemishes, I would definitely say it does that. Like I said, it covered my blemishes perfectly fine, and the longevity on this is incredible. You probably can't tell, but it's after work. I've worn this for a whole work day, and like, I don't know, can you see? Like, it looks I mean, I'm a tiny bit sweaty right now, so just ignore that. But it looks just the same as when I put it on. I always get some rubbing off underneath my nose, because even in this video, you'll probably see me wipe under my nose. I'm doing that all day, so that doesn't really count. But everywhere else, like, and especially my blush and bronzer and highlight, well, even my highlight, you can see. See how that all is just intact? I think the way that your blush, bronzer, and highlight wear is a true testament to the foundation that it's on top of. Inevitably, you know, it's solidified onto the base, and in this case the base is your foundation. And I think if it stays on and wears, doesn't get patchy, doesn't fade, I think that speaks volumes about the foundation that's underneath it. And it looks awesome. It hasn't broken down. It doesn't look weird on my chin. I think this is great. It's a pretty serious contender for my wedding day. I would obviously probably have to get a darker shade because I'm getting married in May, so kind of the summery-ish time. I don't really have a whole lot of negative things to say about it other than the pores thing, but it does retail for $40, so it's not, you know, an inexpensive or cheap foundation by any means. There are foundations that are more expensive, but definitely a high-end foundation, so it's not cheap. You do get the full 1 fluid ounce, 30 milliliters, so you get the typical amount. Apparently this applicator, let me show you what it looks like. So it's like a squeezy tube, obviously, and then it has this really small little applicator that it comes out of, and apparently this was formulated to be like a no drip kind of applicator. Let me show you it when I squirt it out. See, I'm putting pressure on it right now. Nothing's coming. You have to put kind of a decent amount of pressure, and then it starts to come out. It's not, I mean, I didn't put a lot, but it's not runny. It's not moving around a whole lot. It just stays in place. This might be a good time to talk about this sponge. This is the silicone sponge. Like, whatever the Silly Sponge was trying to be, this was it. This is what the Silly Sponge wanted to be, but Milk Makeup did it. So obviously in the demo you can see me using this, but I thought I would just kind of demonstrate. Look how, I mean, you saw I put basically no foundation back there. You can spread this 4 days, just pat, pat, pat. A little bit will pick up on the sponge. You can just wipe it right off. It comes right off and it blends. It actually does blend. The Silly Sponge, probably a lot of the videos, if you watched any about it, it literally just like pushed the foundation around. It slid. It didn't actually get it into your skin like a brush or an actual beauty blender or, you know, beauty sponge would. And that was my biggest complaint and a lot of people's biggest complaint. It just didn't look natural. Look, you had to use it to spread, and then you had to use another tool to make it actually look like it was part of your skin. This doesn't do that. This actually blends it in, and I promise you are going to save so much product when you use this. Granted, it takes a little bit of more time to use for sure, because you do have to work with it, spreading it to really get it into your skin. It's not quite as intuitive or easy and natural to blend in as like a beauty sponge or a brush would be, and also because most of us are probably not used to using this type of applicator. But especially with the $40 foundation, you don't want to be, you know, having to repurchase this every month or two. You want it to last you a little while, and this is going to do that. You're going to use less product. You're going to look less cakey because you're using less product, and it's kind of a really fun way to apply your makeup. It feels awesome. It's sparkly. Who doesn't like sparkly? I like sparkly. So overall, I would give this foundation a serious A+. Like I said, since I'm not oily, I don't know in terms of the mattifying effects how long it'll last in terms of oil and everything like that. But I mean, I get sweaty. I haven't noticed any breakdown, so that leads me to believe that oily people will probably have a pretty good experience with it too, not moving all over their face or breaking down too much. So I definitely think this would probably work for most people, unless you're like incredibly dry and you avoid matte products. Maybe I would stay away, but overall, I think these are certainly worth it. I meant to mention, this retails for $14, the sponge. This is $40, so $54. It's a little bit of money, but it's gonna go a long way. I definitely promise you it's gonna go a long way, and I really think you would like this. It's a win for me. I definitely recommend it. And now we're gonna talk about something that I didn't love quite as much. I really wanted to, but it's the Ulta and Melissa Michelle collaboration palette. I was so freaking excited when I saw this coming out. I love Melissa. I've been watching her forever. I actually hauled this in my most recent haul video, just like my big massive haul video, and this was one of the things included in it. I hadn't used it yet at the time of that video, but I've actually used it quite a few times since that, and I definitely have some thoughts. So this palette retails for only $20. I think that's a really good value, especially because you can use the $3.50 off $20 or $3.50 off 15 coupon for this, which brings us down to like $16.50 with tax, like 17 and change. So it's a really good value. This is what the inside looks like. You may have seen it already. It's really, really pretty. Like, you see this and you're like, these colors are awesome. It has so much in here. You have a trio of highlighters, a bunch of different eyeshadows, the blush, and a liquid lipstick. So especially for $20, that's a really, really good value. And I was drawn to it specifically because of how awesome it looked. Also because I really just love YouTuber collabs. I pick up almost every single one. But this was the first one that I was like actually disappointed with. And that rarely happens because I'm really not like a makeup snob. I don't need the best of the best eyeshadows in every single palette. It doesn't need to be amazing. It just needs to like work. And this didn't even really do that. We can start with the eyeshadows. I'm going to be using it in the demo, so you'll kind of see some of them in action, but they don't have like any pigment. Like, let me show you. So this Tobo one, this is like a really pretty kind of like grayish, brownish. I was actually really looking forward to this. So I just rubbed that a few times. That's it on my finger. But like, you see that? Like, it's so faint, and like I just rubbed it back and forth. Like, to get that to actually show up on your eyes, you need to go in and like layer and layer and layer and layer. And like, I'm on the fairer side, so like, if this is how light this is on a relatively fair skin tone, you know, my eyelids don't get tan. They're pretty much always pretty light, and it doesn't work. Same with this like darker brown, which you would definitely probably think would be one of the ones that would make a pretty big impact. And on the finger, like, it looks okay, but then when you swatch it out, like, do you see how sheer it is? Like, it just, you can see my skin underneath it. It really doesn't pack a lot of punch. It's the same thing. I mean, if you're into just like really, really sheer eyeshadows and you like the more simple look, this might work for you. But like, if you're gonna use a dark brown, it's probably because you want some dark brown in like your outer crease or your whole crease, and this is just not that. It's just so muted. You have to just spend so much time building it up. And in the morning before work, I don't have time to be constantly layering, blending. I can't. However, what I will say is some of these shimmery shades are super, super nice. This Teresita color and the Lola color, I'm going to swatch those really quick. Those show up pretty nicely. Lola is like an awesome lid shade and like inner corner. Teresita is like next level. So do you see those? Lola is, you know, light because it's supposed to be, but do you see Teresita? It's pigmented, it's reflective. I mean, and there's still some left on my finger. Like, that's a nice shade, but to have like 2 hits amongst all these misses, the other colors, they're similar. They're okay. This purple Alana shade is alright. It packs a little bit of punch, but it doesn't do everything that you might need it to do. I do like that there's a matte cream shade, like a bone shade in here. I think that's really important. I love that in a palette, but I just feel like there's 2-3 good shadows and then a bunch of duds. The eyeshadows, they didn't really do it for me. Unfortunately, that's not really where the disappointment ends. This blush in Mahal, which I love that it's in a heart, and in the pan, like, doesn't that look so pretty? But when translated onto the cheeks and even swatched, like, it doesn't. By the way, I wiped off all my other swatches, but like, ugh. Like, look, do you see how, like, can you even see it? I don't even know if you can see it. Like, it's just, it doesn't do much. And my hands are pretty fair. My cheeks, you know, might have a little bit of color, but I like packed this on. Like, I layered and layered and layered, and it, like, I couldn't get it to show. The highlight, you can, if you wanted to, use each of the 3 individually. Please excuse my nails. I need to paint them. I know. You can definitely use them individually. Like, I think you would have a brush small enough to fit into them, but Melissa recommends rubbing them all together, which is also, I think, the easiest way to apply them. It looks alright swatched on the finger, and on the cheek, kind of like the rest. It's like pretty okay. The swatch, actually that swatch looks pretty good, but it kind of blends out like into kind of a lot of nothing. I have it on today. You can definitely see it in, I mean, I have the light coming in right here, so you can definitely see it, but it's not like the most intense highlighter. It's pretty subtle. Kind of like I said, if you're into more subtle, you know, delicate, more natural looking one moment. The lip products fill out, which is what we're going to talk about next, so perfect transition. The powder products in here are just like so-so. If you like things without a lot of pigment, maybe if you're a beginner and you don't want anything to just be overpowering, if you want to be able to work with them and build slowly and like really get a lot of practice, this might work for you, especially for the price point. I think this would be something that would be good for beginners, and it has a lot kind of all in one place. But for the rest of us, I think, you know, even your $17.50 would probably be well spent elsewhere. The lip product, I'm wearing it today. I did want you guys to see what it looks like more. Just the Ulta Beauty matte liquid lipstick, not anything, you know, super special. The shade is Scandy, which I think the name is so funny. So like I said, I have it on today. When Melissa tried it on, and I know she's a completely darker skin tone than me, but when she put it on, it looked like a nude, like a really nice, like ColourPop little stitches, kind of like very muted nude kind of brownie pink. But like, this ain't that. Do you see? This is like a brown almost, and like that's not exactly what I was going for when I purchased this. I definitely prefer my nudes, and that's just what I thought I was getting. I don't dislike this color. It is nice, but it's just not exactly what I was looking for. And you see that? She said this in her video. It's very sticky. Like, it doesn't dry down. In terms of transfer, there's not much. There's like a super faint little something, but there's not a whole lot. So it like sets, but it doesn't like get totally dry. It stays sticky. You could put a gloss over it if you wanted to, but I mean, a lot of us are wearing a matte liquid lipstick because we're going for a matte look. So I don't know. Overall, I would say, as much as I love Melissa and as much as I love Ulta, I would probably say that this is a pass, unfortunately. I really wanted to love it. If any of you guys have it and love it, definitely share your thoughts below. Other people might totally want to know some more positive feedback. If there's another way to use this that maybe I haven't, definitely let us know. But overall, I would say nah, unless you're a beginner. And if you're really, really interested, just give it a try. Like I said, you're out $20, so it's not a big deal. This, however, I definitely think is worth giving a try. Okay guys, so that's gonna wrap up this video. I hope that this was informative and helpful, and if there was anything that you were curious about, I hope I answered it. If there's anything else that you're interested in getting some information on that's either come out or coming out shortly, definitely head over to our blog. We cover all the latest makeup beauty product releases over there. We give you as much information as we possibly can, swatches, packaging, release dates, everything you need to know. It's all over there. I would definitely appreciate if you check it out. It's always linked below. And thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to subscribe, I would like it too. Please join us. We have a lot of fun here. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.